Hi, this is Lily Cotilla. Welcome to San Diego Therapy. For those of you experiencing grief or loss, whether it be through a relationship or passing on to the other side, Elisabeth Kubler-Ross is very well known in the field of therapy for her 5-stage model. Sometimes other stages are integrated, but primarily the 5, which can happen in any order, are anger, guilt, sadness, fear, forgetting the 5th, shame, anger, guilt, sadness, fear. Well, there's one more. It'll come to me in a moment. I just had it at the tip of my tongue. I, however, believe that she is missing one component that is essential to acceptance. Well, maybe that's the 5th one, actually. And the component that I believe is missing is that as human beings, we have been conditioned either via different religions or perhaps agnosticism or atheism or spirituality, whatever that means these days. The term has become so loose. I'm not sure when two people use it, they're referring to the same thing or having the same internal schematic imagery. In any case, the piece that I believe is missing is to develop one's own belief system on life and death, and where the soul, where the spirit journeys, if there will be a reconnection, if there is an invisible string that keeps the connection while one is inside body and another is outside body, if there is such a thing as astral travel and or soul family bodies or twin flames. And religion and science and math and the logistics we have been taught in this world just do not provide solace for the heart. We are left with many remaining unsolved questions. And when humans have questions and puzzles in which they cannot ruminate on and figure out, it leaves them searching and not comforted. So your story may be very offbeat in terms of life and death, and it may not be your norm. And it may for sure not be something that you talk about with the grocery store clerk or even your best friend for that matter. You might look at some of Hollywood movies and almost as if they're academia and pick and choose pieces from various movies having nothing to do with life and death at all and weave together your own story on what this cycle, this wheel of samsara, if you believe in reincarnation, or if what happens when the soul is no longer inside the body, and you pick together pieces from various Hollywood references, you will be able to, depending on how much it's worth to you, put together a spiritual story on loss, so that the loss is no longer there because you've made sense of it, and because you have found your answers in terms of your heart and the love and the connection and the whys. And the whys are the whys, question or intelligent, right? We look at death as an individual thing, And we've been taught to look at death as an individual loss of body. And while in this realm it is, who's to say that one move of, let's say, a pawn in a chess game doesn't alter the whole scene, and many people throughout the globe, throughout the world, die in connection with each other. They're woven together as this bigger entity that crosses to the other side, and they might not even know each other at all. So anyway, these are just some concepts to possibly expand your mental thinking on what death is, rather than simply going through the 5 stages of grief and loss. And this can apply to loss of a relationship too. You know, we can get so heartbroken and paralyzed and fear of loss of a long-term relationship or a short-term relationship or marriage, and our view on time is so minuscule that if we are able to step back and look at the bigger picture of time in our lives, the possibility of reconnection is grand. I mean, if you are able to look at the years rather than the minutes and the days that you're not getting the texts and the phone calls and the emails reassuring you that you're okay and that you'll get back together. If you look at the bigger picture, it's much easier to grasp, because you will understand the possibility of reconnection is so much more probable, and it will alter your subtle behaviors that ironically will most likely end up hurting the relationship that you want to keep whole even further. The irony of it is that your micro behaviors result you in the opposite direction of what in fact you want to manifest. So keep that in mind with respect to loss of a relationship in this realm, and how you change your thinking about it with respect to time and action and soothing and responses, etc. And you will transform your life if you want.